Hey crew, morning again. We are building a startup live on YouTube called Shuffleboard, and it's day whatever, I don't even know right now. Let's get back at it. First thing I'm gonna go is go to my backlog, just get refreshed. Let's get this code editor booted up again. The little morning routine happening. I mentioned yesterday that I wanted to talk about design hierarchy. So what's design hierarchy? Heard of the Maslow's hierarchy of need? Basically, it just says that people need things to survive, or rather that they need some things to survive, and then as they get those things, they want other needs. So for example, the fundamental things that they need are physical: air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, etc. And then just safety, and then love and belonging and esteem, and then something called self-actualization at the top, which is a little more abstract. And the importance is that these are all sort of human needs, or maybe wants at the top, hard to say, needs. But that they come in an order. There's some needs that are more needs than others, I guess. And that is that you can't really worry too much about love and belonging if you don't have food. And you can't worry even much about your self-actualization if you don't have love and belonging. And so in design, there's sort of a similar idea. People have done different diagrams of it. I'm not really sure which one I want to show you. Well, here's one. And basically, I might disagree with some of the words chosen here, but there's always sort of three general categories. There's the functionality. And in design, that's not, does it work? It's actually, of the things that we needed to do, of the features it needs to have, essentially. Does it perform those features? Does it serve the functions that we want? It's not about making them work, it's about choosing which ones we should have. Of all the things we could do, what should we do? And then making them reliable and usable and proficient. Reliability, I'm not sure that's it's hard for me to relate that to design often. Usability is a huge one, obviously. So the ability to make this easy for people to use, understandable. And then proficiency is one that people miss a lot, which is it has to also be quick for most things, especially tasks that happen a lot over and over again. Creativity, I wouldn't use that word. I would use something to speak to emotion or brand, or something that describes that this thing is actually really appealing to people and makes them feel good. And then maybe even at the top or at the bottom, something about whether we should be building this thing at all. Is it good for the world? Whether or not people like it and it's usable and it does something people want. There's a question of design ethics that I don't think is really captured well here. But the point is that we're going through that process ourselves in this project. We went through the rough design of functionality and usability and some emotional work in the wireframes, but now we're going through that work in our app itself. And so, we're really, why I'm talking about this is that it's really important, I think, for us to focus on that functionality piece first and really get that down. We know what this thing needs to do, and if we spend too much time, at least if I spend too much time at this stage, tweaking those other elements of the triangle, it might just be a bit of a distraction, because you can't really test something and tell somebody, hey, would you like this if it actually worked? That's not really a great test. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. Facilitators can create a board from a template. It's on our plate today. Multiple users can join a meeting, however that happens. And these are sort of related here. Users can like cards. Facilitators can create a board from a template. So that's sort of related to where we left off last time, because we were making these cards. It was working pretty well. We made it so that a board could actually not just have multiple cards on it, but multiple screens, and those screens could have title, and they're all saved to the database. So if we open up our board with slides, we can see that there are multiple slides, and we can go next. That's a big one. It's a big deal. Okay. Create a board from a template. So right now, if you start a new board, you get something that looks more like this. It's empty. We don't want that, and we could make it so that you could add boards live or add slides live in a board, but that just doesn't make any sense because that's not the point of this tool. So might as well just make it so that when a board is created, it's created from a template. All right, let's do that. It's a good place to start. Thinking out loud here. If you haven't been watching these videos, you might not know that there's going to be a lot of ums and empty spaces in here because I'm actually doing this live, which means it's going to be a little slow and awkward and silent sometimes. All right, so here's our list of boards. So we don't just want one create board button, we want a list of boards. I'm going to make a list of hard-coded boards. Like this list could be in the database at some point for sure, but not yet because we just don't need it to be. Like this app could work pretty well. In fact, I think we have the fact that people can create custom templates down below because we know that this private meeting test of, in theory, getting this in front of a group and having them run through it. I'm sorry. Excuse me, is the most important thing. All right, name, Sprint Retro. So we're mapping each board and showing the board. I'm gonna do that with the templates too. I guess we don't really need this part anymore, huh? We're just going to name it whatever the template is named. And that's quite all right because sorry, looking. Oh. That's quite all right. It's okay to build things and then remove them later because then it's worth it to have everything be incrementally shippable as you go. In my IMO. This isn't really a button anymore. Actually, maybe it should be kind of. So this is just going to create a board based off of a template, even though that template doesn't do anything. And then we have to worry about how to make the slides after that. So I think we need something called slides. And each slide template will have a prompt that we actually use for the question. Other things could go in here, because I'm sure we'll have other parameters soon, because we did that wireframe, so we know what this is going to look like eventually. But for now, we can just do this. Let's just pass it the template. A board now contains slides. We have to have slides. Excuse me. So we don't want to catch here. Ooh, should I make this like a database? What is it called? Transaction? So that it all fails or doesn't. Probably should, but last time I looked at this, it was confusing. So I kind of don't want to. I don't technically need this, but it might be a good idea. Okay. So you get a reference, it's all good. Then you run a transaction and pass it a bunch of stuff you want it to do with pass or fail. In there you run multiple things in a then. Actually, that seems not too terrible. I can probably make that work. Let's try it. I'm assuming any number means 0. Such as set, update, or delete, but can it be add? My clock is ticking in my head and I'm thinking that this might just be not useful to do right now. Get, set, update. Nope, apparently not. Okay. Guess we don't need to worry about this for now. Just gonna do it the good old-fashioned way. Figure that out, forget. I know it's going to involve a board ref. Pass an array of promises. So I'm going to say Hold on to your butts. Okay, well, I created a board from a template. That's nice. Slides thing didn't work. Prompt to prompt. What is this? Unnamed board. Ooh, is this new? I think so. So what have we done? Undefined. Oh, we're not going to. Oh, so look, it's working actually. It says the name here. What was good? What was not good? Hey, lame guys. What was good? Super cool. So the order is wacky. We knew that was an issue. We need to fix that. The only issue is when you create it, it's not getting the ID of the board back, so it's just sending you to some random place and you have to go click at your name. So we have to fix that. Wasting time. Photoshop. We need to go to create board. Oh, create slide. Is this even called anywhere? Did we figure out that this really does not need to be its own thing? I think we did. We just got absorbed into create board. So the thing about this board is we got to return. We want to return. We don't have. We want to return. We want to return board ref when we're done. But we just don't have it the way promises work. What do we do with this catch? I don't really know. I don't really get it. I'm not catching somewhere else. This feels ridiculous, but is that how this works? Maybe I don't need that. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, poor for real. Seems like it might do it. Oh, it's not returning a promise. It has a little bit in weirdo land, is that? Yeah, that's not how it works. Oh, these promises are like so nasty. Okay. I should mention, by the way, I'm not really good at programming. Like, I think I'm good at other things, but this isn't one of them. I'm comforted by the fact that these videos are so long that nobody's ever going to watch this. So they're not going to see me struggle with elementary JavaScript promise shit. Okay. So let's just figure out what the hell's going on in there. Did it already error? It already errored though. Why did it do that? Maybe I'm just not awake yet. Am I doing this a stupid way? Like, maybe I should just be doing this way. This is annoying. I wish this was going faster. What happens with that? Oof, that ain't good. No board ID. Oh. I think it worked, people. I think it worked. Okay. We've got a thing called a template with a nice clean series of slides with prompts with not jokey titles. Each of those prompts is mapped through to a new button that shows the name of the board or the name of the template that you're going to be creating a board from. And then you create the board and it goes to the board as expected, and that just works the way it used to work. When you create a board though, it does the following. It makes a new database board, just standard board with the name that matches the name that from the template you passed it. Then, before it's done, it goes and makes a new slide based off that board and the templates, the slide that the template sent in our slides database. Does all that, returns the original board ID so that the view can use it, and errors if something happens. And what does creating the slide mean? It's as simple as taking the board ID and the template slide and throwing it in the database with that stuff there. Hey, bam, cool. So let's say I wanted to make a new sprint retrospective. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, I saw it flash up. It was good. I mean, it was nice. It was real nice. It was real nice. Next. What was not good? Oh, well, there was that one time. Great. And we can always see our board here. Maybe not the report of the board. Let's throw that in there. Otherwise, I think that's pretty good. Oh, and what is this? Yeah, we didn't do a key on any of that, did we? That's because templates don't have IDs. But let's just use our name. Still works. Cool. Always one character. Did I not add those other things? All right, nice. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey, hey. All right, now let's look at this stuff later, but first I'm gonna take a quick break. And we're back. Okay, where were we? Just shipped a little bit of a deal. Okay, this is what's important. We're trying to get to the thing where we can show this to somebody in a theoretical private meeting test. We're trying to get all this stuff down. Multiple users can join a meeting, however that happens. So if you were to start one of these meetings, or a board, you'd have to tell people to go to this URL, and there'd be a whole thing about it. And our security rules might be an issue. So we gotta let's just chip away at this story for now. We gotta get other people able to use this thing. Well, the first thing we might need is like a slide at the beginning. Users, I mean, maybe we need to make that its own story. Like users see an intro, new meeting, you know, users who join a meeting, participants see a welcome screen on meetings they join. That should really be everybody, because they need to see the welcome screen on the facilitator's view in order to even see what URL to go to. That might require some security rules. So these are actually more specific things that need to happen for this. What else needs to happen for this? I don't think anything. So now we're going to get rid of this sort of placeholder story in order for like a real story to be here. Okay. So let's work on the welcome screen. So when you join here, you shouldn't see this. The first screen should be just a welcome screen, and it's not really a screen in the sense that, or a slide. It's not really a slide because it's not something that was created and edited. They're all going to have one. You can't make one without one. How should you be able to? No, you shouldn't. You should just. They should all have one. Can't think of a reason why they wouldn't. Okay. So your board has a board name and a slide manager. The slide manager has the previous and next buttons, so the slide manager needs to know about the other slides. I mean, really, the first slide is now. So we need a. I mean, here we know this. There's going to be before a welcome slide. Oh, I shouldn't have copied that one. I should have copied that one. Okay. Welcome to the thing. We're not going to show any cards here. We're not going to ask for your input. None of that. Join the meeting. Join this meeting. And we need to show the URL for the meeting. Maybe it should be an anchor tag, but that just seems, you can't, wouldn't click it, but maybe it's easier to copy the link. Let's just do it. No, I don't want, is it a link or an anchor? I don't care right now. We need to get the location. So that's just window dot location. dot what? href. Yeah. And while we're at it, let's make a goodbye slide. You this meeting is over. We need you to join anymore? We don't, really. Simple enough. This meeting is over. Why am I don't think that's funny. Okay. Down. Okay. So that was the easy part. Now we have to actually figure out how to show them. So because there's this so we're saving the state as a slide, not an index of slides. If it was an index, it'd be super easy to do this, because all we would do is add the slide, sorry, I'm thinking and talking at the same time. But the fact is that our goodbye and welcome are not in this .props.slides. So component this is only used in these. I don't know what the best way to do this is. I can think of a couple terrible ways to do this. Just have all kinds of duplicate state and crap rules. Should I just make it the index? Probably. But then if for some reason somebody goes in and rearranges the slides while the meeting is happening, which you might want to do just in case, it's gonna just break. I'm gonna try to not do, so we have a backup plan. Just use index and pray nobody rearranges slides mid meeting. If your backup plan just involves crossing your fingers and hoping, that's not a good sign. So we're going to go for the real. We're going to try to do it the right way. So there's a current slide. Look. Watch this. Current slide is welcome. All right. Now that's going to seem a little nuts. No, thank you. So now we should be able to show slides that are real slides or just welcome and goodbye slides if the current slide is a string. That is one of those things. But our previous to next stuff is going to be totally broken. But maybe we just have to do a simple condition. You know, you'll never be on the first and last slide anymore. Really. Because this state is now there. Was all, where is it? What are we doing here? Only updating on first and last? We don't need this function anymore. Wow, this might make it even simpler. That's weird. Okay. Oh, well, I just deleted some stuff I was planning to use. So we're all good here, I think, except that we need this previous and next stuff to work. So next slide. What happens when you click next? What are we supposed to do? If this .current slide equals welcome, this .setState current slide, that's what this is for. It was going to need it. So if you hit next and you're on the welcome screen, just make it the first one. You know? So that's a special condition. Now, if this .current slide equals the last one, let me think about that for a second. So if you're on the last real slide, you got that condition down. It might work. No, it does not work. Okay. Where? Let's see. not really the error I was expecting to see. Slide container. Let's take a look under the hood. Well, that's not good. What happened? Well, first of all, it's not even supposed to get there. Oh, okay. Just, yeah. Do we have any of these? Oh, we got a whole lot of them. Big old typo. All right, it's a thing. It's working. So when you go to a board now, the default is going to show you the URL to join the meeting. If you hit next, it's going to show you the next slide with options go back and forth. If you hit next again, it's not going to do shit. We're close. We're close here. Let me just check my, let's just dig in a little bit, see what we got going on. What if I just go in here? Can I just edit? Probably not. Does it, I can't just change it? Okay. Oh. We forgot to actually let you go previous and next. Like, the whole thing that button is supposed to do, we just forgot to include that part. Yeah, I guess we do need this, huh? Okay. See how we do. Nice. Oh. Break my heart at the last second. All right, so that's working. This should catch here, or break here. Weird. Let's do that one more time. This should hit here. Why not? Well, that's the first thing. We shouldn't be doing both of these things. Because we're not returning, so we can't just use that style. It doesn't explain the weird breakpoint, but maybe it does, and I'm just confused. Let's try it one more time. Are you not like, come on, I know you're doing that. Okay, I don't. It's slide 5D. Good. Oh, 04. Okay. 04M probably should match this, right? So I'm expecting it to go to this dot set state. Oh, and it is. Okay. Oh, I'm overreacting. It works. Great. So this is also probably something we have to rewrite again because we're not saving the state. So I need to say in the database so we can all see it at the same time. So all users in the meeting see the same slide. important to do. Okay, but we're done with this for now. Let's take one more look at this guy. You don't need the backup plan. You know, theoretically you could refactor these to, you know, work together and just pass like a +1 or -1 to say navigate or increment / decrement slide, and then you wouldn't have to redo all this logic, but you kind of would anyway, and it would just be a longer if, and it's not worth it right now. Nice, okay. Okay. You know, I think this is the critical one. I mean, we should make this work. Right? If you can't at least all be on the same slide, you know, that's a problem. So this whole state thing is going to turn into a not state thing. This is going to be a database thing. Repassing that. You know what, I'm just going to take a break real quick. We've been at it for another half an hour, so let me just step away for a minute, maybe refresh my tea or something, and clear my head, and then we'll come back to this when I'm feeling fresh. Hey y'all, we're about to do all users in a meeting on the same slide, I think. Join meeting from URL. These are all sort of kind of like each other. Actually, I'm curious just to see what it looks like on mobile real quick if we just did it. Oh, there's no mobile. That's not what I want, mobile. It's one of those things that I copy for every project because I don't use it. Okay, what happens if we do this? Oh, it's in there. What? Okay. Oh, it's because it's not set to. Oh. Okay, don't need this, any of this. So what happens if you're mobile? Still works. I'm just going to delete this because it's just automatically done. Could have marked it complete, but I didn't do anything. Okay. Participants can join a meeting from a URL. So we're working on that with the URL is in there thing, but I don't know that it's the case. This liking cards is tempting. I know I'm gonna have to stop here in a little bit. I'm also running out of room with my computer, so I gotta move fast. All right, this one is just, it's gotta happen. Does it have to happen? Do you have, I mean, can't you just move through the slides yourself? Can't they say next and then you go next? You know? Like, what if you're still writing? Is it just gonna scoop it right out from under you? Would I rather have it, which crappy way would I rather have it? Plus, if I do that, then I got to hide the previous and next buttons for the participants, which I do want to do, but maybe that's just something you do when you build like a participant mode, you know? Let's just see how easy it is to do, and if it's super easy, we'll just knock it out, and if it gets it all hard, we'll just come back later. All right, slide manager. So this whole thing, this state, no bueno. We need the slide. Who's calling our slide manager? We need to have them give the slide manager. Nope, not what I meant. We need to give them the board. Oh, the board's calling it to them. Oh, the slide manager has a board. Great, so it just needs to use it. Slide manager, your state here. No, we don't want the state. If this dot props dot board dot current state equals welcome. We need to need this guy back because we're setting the state here. So this thing is now going to be here. So basically, anytime we have this dot state dot current slide, it's this dot props dot board dot current slide. Or just make all boards default current slide welcome. It's not a bad way to do it, especially since we don't have a ton of data already. Okay. So this dot set state, this has got to become a Firebase deal. And we don't want to put that in here, so we're going to make a new action. I guess we could do update board. Yeah, we already have update board. Ooh, is it that simple? I think it might be. Okay, no more state. Let's just make it a little bit more robust and check to see if but it's possible that this is still going to render. So we need to just be able to handle the case where there's no current. Let's take it for a spin. Too easy? That's redundant. We don't need that comment. I'm glad we broke this out into a slide manager before, because this got pretty big, didn't it? And there's no state in here? Nope, no state. Okay. Hey, that didn't take long. We're good to go. Like that. Done. Next, participants can join a meeting from a URL. Okay, so this whole URL thing, we got this URL. You start a new board. Can people just go here? You gotta log in to see that. We should probably let them log in. And where is that coming from? Board container. Let's let them do it. This might be like a real component later or something. Like a blocked login prompt something. But for now, so I'm gonna pull up my personal, new Chrome for my personal page here, and go to the same URL. Okay, it don't work. Update board. Who's calling that? Oh, you know what? Can it be mounted without a board? No, I doubt it. So we're running up against a problem where we start to have to treat these participants in this big slide differently, because we probably should be setting this, but I don't get is why that's not happening on the other one. Oh, the board ID. We're not doing that right. We need to pass the board ID here. So our other things didn't really even work. That's the thing. That's what happened. Never worked. So you're not allowed to update the board, but that's okay. Why are you still trying to update that board? That's concerning. Oh, because you never had permissions to in the first place. So it's got a current slide now, because that worked if you're the owner of the board. And now it's not trying to update anymore. So that's a new error, but that's fine. So we're going to just fix this one real quick. Now I'm back to the real problem of getting multiple people to use this thing. We're still trying to update this board? Oh, we can't even, well, that's, of course. I'm not supposed to even be able to do that. So what we have to do here is go here, and then wait for this person to advance us. But that's broken too. Okay. So this is just like a dumb old app. This is just what somebody's gonna see on their phone. Not a lot of rocket science going on in this right one. They're just in the meeting, happy to help out. This is the person who's running the show. and this better work. So let's make sure we're breaking on issues, and now if the facilitator tries to advance the meeting, now we got a new error. This is an interesting one. So the next slide is trying to update the board. Current slide, desktop props, that slide. I should probably be updating, I should probably be saving this as a document ref, not like a whole fucking slide. That's probably some weird shit that's happening. Was this just never working? How did I even commit this before? A little awkward. Yeah, that shouldn't. Current slide should now, it should be an ID. Should be trying to shove whole slides as the state of something else. That's just dumb. Okay. Yeah, okay. We got some work to do to get this thing to work. Does find always just return one thing? Yeah. That's not what we want. Uh-oh, it's not saving. It's probably because I ran out of space on here. All right, guys. I gotta stop for a second. Check this out. No, I don't. It just maybe worked. Hold on. Okay. Ron, welcome. Ron, welcome. Real quick. Try this again. Ron, welcome. Ron, welcome. Oh, I have to delete all these boards because they're just got full of crap now. Maybe not. That's fine. That's a thing, right? Yeah. Okay, why isn't this working? Oh my god, I'm still not, just literally not passing the board idea I want to update. God, it's such a silly mistake. And you all had to see it go down. Brutal. This computer's humming. I hope we're still recording. Let's see. Nope. Okay. We got some stuff to work out, but I just want to stop and make sure my computer's not totally bored and messed up. So be right back. Okay, I think things are in good shape, so let's keep going. Tackle these bugs as best we can. Yeah, okay. So this whole all this stuff we've done to the slide manager. Some of it we need to is a fix to a previous issue, and some of it is not. So let's just worry about that in a second. All right, let's just go and see what we get. Okay, definitely an error here. So, what? Who's trying to do what? Query.where? Why? How are we doing? Oh, this is all React Firestore stuff. Am I doing any of this? Show me my own code. Wow. Oh. Okay. Requires a valid third argument, but it was undefined. What is that third argument? Whatever it's equal to. So, where are we using this filter? That should be defined. No reason that shouldn't be defined. Firestore collection, slides, board. Does it really not show me like where I'm using this React Firestore thing? That's not mine. Where's my code? Okay, whatever. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. Why would any of these not have a thing? So it says the board name, board.current slide is HEXP, so it's probably not where we're trying to get a list of all the boards. Not even on that page. It might be the board container where we're getting the slides, where the board might be right here. Or it could be right here. So if we hit next here, we know it's the board container. It's not that. If we hit next here and it breaks, we know it's a slide container. Okay, it's a slide container. So this is breaking because the slide container is trying to show a slide. Phone just died again. Hold on. Hey guys, few tech difficulties as per usual. These videos are just really long and they take up a lot of space and I'm having to manage it. But I wanted to spend a couple more minutes today if I can. I just on my laptop camera trying to fix this thing before I wrap because it's just I got a lot of stuff in my head right now and I don't want to lose it tomorrow. And then if I have to break, that'll be fine because actually the sleep and the just taking a break might do me some good. But we'll just spend a few more minutes and see what we can do. Slide is an ID. So no wonder that's getting that. Why is that a slide ID? Who's calling slide container? Why are they doing that? Oh yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. What we actually want is this whole deal. Not there. So if I click this button, I'm hoping that it'll change over there. I think it will, but there's a debugger on everything. It sort of worked. Where the hell did I put that thing? Okay, so if you join this board and the facilitator moves back and forth, you're gonna get the update as they do. You are along for the ride, baby. I don't know where this. Okay, that's awesome. Hey, look, and we got it done. You know, I like that we got it done. This stuff. I'm gonna wait on that for a second. Let's just get it sorted, committed in. Good to go. So the first thing we want to do is actually just, can I just stage? No. It's hard to describe what I'm trying to do here. I only want to just commit the things. I want to commit a version where the update board is oh, that did not work as expected. I just want to commit the issue with the board IDs first. I just want to get that taken care of. That's not what I want. So all these changes, like this issue, I want to update, but I want to update later. This one I want to do now. Good. This one I want to do now. This is the whole props ID thing. I don't know how that worked before. I mean, obviously it didn't. I missed it. Wasn't really testing it. So what I'm trying to stage here. Oh, this is getting wacky. Better redo that part. This might just be a function of how this tool uses get. So I just think it's just a little much. I don't really want to have to. I don't think I want to have to split hairs in this. We got to move. So I'm just going to commit this all together. My get will be dirty, and that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it's okay. Just gotta get going. Okay. Actually, maybe I'll just amend all of this. Yeah, this is just all part of the last commit, honestly. So what the last commit probably should have been in the first place.
That's not where you typed that. Yeah, that's why you gotta stop after a while. You gotta take a break because you just start to lose it. Done. Clean. Okay. Look. Good enough. I think we got it, folks. We're calling it good for now. All right. Here, can I do this? Thanks for hanging in there. I should be at it a little bit tomorrow. See you soon.